I'm going to show you the breakdown and entry that I took on this short position on XRP, which resulted in a 700% profit. So for those that have been following me for a while, I called this position 3 weeks ago on my channel, and I told you exactly where I'm entering, where my stop loss is, and where my take profit will be. And this resulted in a 700% profit. Now, I trade crypto using the ICT strategy, and I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to trade using only the higher time frame, and you actually don't need to go into the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the 1 minute to trade. In fact, I took this based on the weekly, daily, and only the 4-hour candle. So let's start off by the weekly time frame. Now I'm going to use the replay tool down here, and what we can see first is let's mark on all of our external range liquidity. Now let's mark on all of our internal range liquidity. Now on the weekly time frame, what we want to now mark on is all of these key areas that we're expecting price to go to. And the way that I normally do this is I put on the buy side and the sell side liquidity, and then I put in our dealing range. So we know that we're within this dealing range from this swing low to this swing high. And essentially what you want to do is when we're in the premium side, which is anything above 0.5, we want to short. And anything in the discount side, which is below 0.5, we want to take long positions. Now let's mark on all the key PD arrays. We've got a fair value gap down here. We've got some order blocks floating around down here as well, so we can mark those on. Right, so now that we've marked on everything on the weekly time frame, let's drop straight into the daily time frame. Now, because we were looking for short positions, first we want to know, where do we expect price to go? So where are your target levels? Of course, there's loads of target levels we can think about, all of the sell side liquidity, the order blocks, but what's a realistic target level? My realistic target level will be just to these lows down here. And then the second target levels that I'll be looking at are around these key PD arrays down here. What we can also do is just put in a fib from this swing low to the swing high. And what we expect is for price to come into the OTE level. And we can see within the OTE level, we've got a fair value gap as well. I'm just going to remove this for now. And let's start zooming into the price action. So what I want to teach you guys, and what I think is very important for you guys to understand, is order flow and liquidity. Because what you can see here is clear order flow to the downside. And that's what we want to see. We want to see price move in a specific direction. Now, the thing that really convinced me that price was going to come to the downside once more again is because of all of the liquidity we had down here that was built up. Price tapped in many times and failed to close below. Now, given the fact that we've had a buildup of liquidity, think of this in the concept of people are taking positions long around these regions, so they have stop losses below these levels. And what we want to target is their stop losses. We can also now mark in all of the key PD arrays within this area down here. So let's start off with this fair value gap down here. And then let's start off with also this fair value gap down here. So what I want to show you guys down here is if we was to just ignore all of price action from this level down here, when we had this move to the downside, we were expecting price to come back up. But given that we didn't close below this level, we created a somewhat double bottom and we didn't really grab much liquidity, we're expecting price to come back up. Therefore, what we can do now is put in your dealing range from this swing high to this swing low. And what we want to look for is price to come up above the 0.5 level into a key PD array for us to short. And this is all on the daily time frame right now. I haven't changed the time frame. We're only on the daily time frame. Now, the other thing that we can mark on is also the fib levels. So we have a fib from A, B, C. So we want to see price come within the OTE level as well as come within this fair value gap. And we can take an entry for short around these regions. Now, I didn't take this entry. I took a different entry, which I'll show you in a second. But this is helping you understand order flow and helping you understand where I look for entries and where I look for my targets. So given that price came into this level down here, we had a push down and a push back up. And actually, there's another entry you can take down here. I'll go into the lower time frame for you to show you guys that. And then our targets are these lows down here. Now, given the fact that we actually didn't tap into the lows down here, this is why I took this entry to the downside down here. Now, if I was to just remove this area down here and also this, one other thing that convinced me is this is a market maker sell model. So we have the buy side here and the sell side here. And I anticipated it from this move up that we're going to complete this market maker sell model. Now, if we was to just go into the 4-hour, now you can take your entry based on the 4-hour exactly where the fair value gap is. And this was also the OTE level, or you can wait for extra confirmation. And for extra confirmation, what you would want to see is a break of market structure. So we would mark this on as a break of market structure. And you don't want to see a wick break. This is not an official break of market structure. You want to see a clear body close below. And you can see we had strong displacement on the way down. Although we did have this wick, the candles came back in and filled the wick, and then we moved up. So this is strong displacement to the downside. Now that we have that, what we want to now see is a pullback back up into a key PD array. We can also confirm that this is a new dealing range from this high to this low. We want to short above the 0.5 level. So now let's mark on all of the key PD arrays within this range. So we have this order block down here. So we can mark that order block on. And we also have a OTE level, which is within this region as well. Now we can actually take an entry from here to the downside. And we will target the lows down here. So that's a very, very clean and clear entry. Now, let's apply that same logic now to the setup that I took, which resulted in a 700% profit. Now, price came into the regions of around here. We had the move down first, we have a double bottom, we have liquidity resting below, then price comes back up. Given that price came back up, we've already tapped into this fair value gap down here. Now we need to look for fair value gaps, order blocks around this region. So we can see we have down here, we have a fair value gap down here. And we can also mark on our OTE level, which you can actually put it from this swing high, or you can put it from this swing high as well. And what looks really good is that we've tapped 1, 2, 3 times into the 78.6 and failed to close above. And we also came into this fair value gap down here. Now, again, you can take entry straight off the bat on the daily time frame and have your stop loss above this high down here, targeting the lows down here. That's one thing you can do. Let's go on the 1 hour because we can get a precise entry on the 1 hour. So I will actually wait for price to come up. That's a liquidity grab down here, and then for price to come back down. Now, given that we have this swing low and then the swing high and then swing low again, we can call this a break of market structure, although a pretty aggressive one. We can wait for price to come down, break of market structure. Now we can anticipate, if I was to just use the replay tool, now we can anticipate, if I play it just a bit more, given that we have a bounce from here, we can call this our new dealing range. We want to see price come into the premium side of the dealing range, which is above the 0.5. And then we can put on all of our key PD arrays, which I'm just going to mark on very roughly for you. And then we can also mark on our OTE level, which we can do from these areas. So price came into the 78.6, we've tapped into it. I would take an entry exactly. In fact, I normally just put my entries between the 78.6 to the 61.8, and then you can have your stop loss above the highs down here. Now coming back onto the daily, what you want to see now is how does price react from these levels, so you can move your stop loss to break even and then start taking partials on the way down. Now my first target would have been the lows down here. So if I just remove this, my first target would have been the lows down here, and I'm expecting this to now be a market maker sell model. My second target would be these levels down here, so the minus 27 and the minus 61.8, and then we also have an order block around here as well. So let's see how price played out. And when this move happened for me to the downside, it was coming from the back of some news. So on the daily time frame, we had the move to the downside, a very, very aggressive move to the downside, in fact. But if we look at our target levels, so our target level number one was down here. We smashed right through it. We smashed right through our second target and third target. And then our final target would have been, to be fair, the sell side liquidity all the way at the bottom down here. I was not anticipating price to get all the way down to the bottom down here, but there was a high possibility for price to get into at least 127%. Therefore, we tapped into it, we closed above it. We came back down again, and now we've closed above it. This can be a strong area where price rejects off and moves higher up. So this was a great trade, resulted in a 700% profit. Now, if you like these types of setups and this strategy, I teach this strategy. I offer one-to-one mentorship, but you can also learn quite a lot just from my channel itself. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I share live positions with you guys, exactly when I'm entering the market, why, and also tell you about where my profit level and target levels are. So if you like those, go smash that like button and comment if you want to see anything else